The word of the day is stories. Hey everybody, Jim Edwards. And you know, when most people think of story, as a grandfather, I think of telling stories to my grandkids. Hey grandpa, tell me a story. Other people think of reading a bedtime story. Other people think of using stories in your sales copy. That's one of the things we've talked about this week. Some people think of telling a story to your mom to get out of trouble. When I think of stories, though, I think of the single most powerful sales copy or content marketing mechanism there is. Why? Because we have been trained since we were little kids to hear stories. Think about Hollywood. What does Hollywood do? Hollywood is movies. Movies are what? Telling stories. We love stories. What happens on podcasts? People share stories. What happens in gossip magazines? People sharing stories. It's literally hardwired into our caveman brain that stories are amazing and they're fun and we just love to tune into them. So here's the thing. When it comes to selling, I know you've heard the phrase, people buy on emotion and they justify with logic. Now, that sounds great when you're in the sales class and the trainer's getting you all excited and it's like, yeah, they're going to buy on emotion. How do you make somebody emotional? That's the question. How? Well, the way you do it is with a really good sales story. With a story that makes them emotional. Now, that story can be about them. The story can be about the product. The story can be about you. So if the story is about them, then it's telling the customer story. If it's about the product, then it's telling the story of how you develop. Typically, it's about how you develop the product. If the story is about, it's about you, it's about your journey. If it's about a customer, we call that a case study, which is different than a testimonial. A case study is the customer's journey, okay? But here's the thing. If you want to get really good, I erased that by accident with my elbow. If you want to get really good at telling stories, you just need to practice. You just need to practice. Decide, you know what? I'm going to get better at telling stories. I'm going to get better. I'm just going to try. Because I'm telling you, it is the single most valuable thing that you can learn how to do, and it's very natural. All you got to do is practice. We're all good at telling stories. We all have interesting things to tell people about themselves, about our product or service, about our own experience, about our customers' experiences. Once you get in a habit of telling stories, it becomes second nature. One of the things you got to do, though, is come up with a story inventory. And that is one of the things I'm going to teach you how to do on the upcoming Sales Story Masterclass that we're going to be doing. So earlier this week, I did a real cool video to teach you the #1 best sales story that you can tell to get results in sales the fastest. When I used that particular story, I was able to increase my sales 250% literally overnight. So there's a link to that video somewhere around here. But also, you're going to want to go to salesstorymasterclass.com and you're going to want to register for the free afternoon masterclass I'm going to be doing, because that's where I'm going to teach you a whole lot of stuff you can do to create amazing sales stories to 2x, 4x, even 10x your sales in an afternoon. So I'm Jim Edwards. Check out the other video. Register for the masterclass.